Yes. I want to welcome y'all to the You Wasn't Outside podcast on the Grown Folks Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts, not doing the most normal ass Carl. To my front, I have my man at Just Lex. Together we form Voltron.
And Just Lex.
Okay. Let me see. Hold it. Hand it over. We gonna get to the real quick. Hold up. We getting to the real quick. Where is it at? I put it in there. Here we go. This is all I needed to hear right now.
Sorry, God don't make mistakes. You don't get 2 times to fuck me over.
Nah.
What do you mean you went to God and he told you I was guilty?
Nah.
You just lied on God.
Nah, don't be lying out here. So here's the deal, right? I was so mad that we didn't get a chance to record last week because I was fired up, man. So I'm gonna tell this story real quick, okay? I watched Love After Lockup. There's a girl on there from Jersey, right? She's dating this dude. His name is Louis, right? Louis's from Jersey also. Louis moves to Georgia for a little bit. He's out there hanging with family and whatnot. Don't worry, I'm just keeping this unlocked. I'm just scrolling through here like that. I don't want you to think I'm going through your shit. So
I got nothing to hide.
I'm gonna paint the story and the narrative so that we can get this together, and then I'm gonna let you get your shit off, right? So Melissa and Louis. Melissa was a little geeky girl in high school. She always liked Louis, right? But Louis was the cool kid. Ended up turning drug addict, right? We heard that story before. And so they're 40 now. Louis does a 10-year bid, and he finds Melissa somewhere online or whatever. You know, you got internet access in jails and shit like that. And Melissa likes living in the past. She got that old thing, right? So, you know, they dating. Louis comes up to Jersey. She takes him by the old high school, by the bleachers. She gets to share the kiss, and he's be telling her like, yo, like, I know you living in this fantasy land of, like, you know, where we was and whatnot. And, you know, I need you to kind of let that shit go because, like, we adults now and we got real problems that we have to deal with. And so that story of Louis and Melissa is what I think about in regards to Lex's music list.
Yeah.
So what I tell Lex, right, now when I'm thinking about it, I looked at Lex's, now this is hate, right? Part of it is hate because, you know, I should have put one together, but then again, I wasn't feeling the music that was out this year. So I had said that on the pod with Zoe and them, right? And so my whole point in all this was this, is that when I look at Lex's list, it's a lot of consistent guys at the top, right? Like Lloyd Banks could never do no wrong, right? Joel Ortiz could never do no wrong. Right, and my argument is that the music that he got up there is for people that still rock jean shorts and white tees. Right, that's the hate. When he get to his top 25, right, I can start narrowing down who's gonna be up there. Right now, there are ones that I agree. Killer Mike was number 1 on his list. Killer Mike definitely deserves to be there. But there are other artists that have come out with music, and so that's why the name of his list. My whole point in all this is the name of his list should be Lex's nostalgia list. Like, it has to be catered to you because time and time again, Drake not topping the top or cracking the top 20 is problematic. Okay. And what it is that it lends itself to is that that's where your ear is. And I know you give it to us, but you got to start giving the young Big X the plug. Offset had a very nice album that came out too, right? There's other guys that are coming out that I want you to start giving a chance to in 2024. All right. I'm done.
So this is maybe the 3rd time we've gone through it. At least on the air, so I gotta reiterate.
Yeah, reiterate.
You're right. The list is mine, and I don't listen to everything. So yeah, it seems like I didn't see Offset on there or whoever you was looking for. It's because I never got to the album. Yeah, man, I ain't gotta be on whatever. Yeah, I never got to the album. There's a lot of albums I didn't get to. I was just like, all right, like I do. There's certain albums that are big enough, like a Drake album, where I'm like, all right, normally I might not like this, might not listen to it, but for all intents and purposes, I gotta hear it. I don't feel that way about a lot of the shit that the new kids feel about. So,
okay.
Yeah. And again, same thing. Drake not cracking my top 20, you gotta think about it like proportionately.
Okay.
So most people are listening to 20 albums in the year. So if Drake's in their top 5, top 10, that's different. When I listen to 70 albums, you got to think about it proportionately, right? And then there's the whole, it's my list from my ear. It's not me saying, hey, this is probably what most people think. Nah, this is how I feel. I don't fuck with this. I don't fuck with that. Now, this year was a little weird because I looked at the top 25 or whatever, and it did look a little heavy with like, there's like there's multiple people on here more than once.
Right.
Normally that might not be the case, at least that high anyway. But I looked at it and was like, yeah.
So
these
you
are
didn't
good
think that
albums.
Scary Hours deserved to be on there of the second rendition of the album?
I put it together as a deluxe, so I put it in its totality. That's what I was trying to say.
And you still felt that it should have been at 56 at that point.
As opposed to 68, 69.
Yo, that's crazy because down there you had, what's my man's name? You know I always get on you about him. What's his name?
G Perico?
Yeah, G Perico. That's crazy that you know that off the cadence.
He had a lot. He had a lot there in that bottom 20.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he's always consistently down there. I'm okay with that. Like, as long as you realize that. You know, but the Offset album, like, yo, you know what I realized?
It might be all right. I didn't hear it.
Like the music list that you have is congruent to like somebody who's like back, like lower back is glued to their hips, right? Like I've been in spots with you, right? Like you're not a dancer, right? You like background cool music. I gotta be able to talk to you so I can like really enjoy the vibe because like getting up and dancing just ain't in my like it ain't in my forte.
Not at my age now. Even back then, like I get what you mean, but like I'll go dance if I got to.
If I got to, it's crazy. But if I got to, just in general. Like I said, like I wasn't mad at everything. It was just a few things where I was kind of like,
Well, yeah, everybody's mad at it. Like you would think, like, okay, you said you was mad at a few things. I'm not mad at everything, right? I think some people might look at, and generally speaking, when we talk about certain aspects of rap music, that me and someone like Mark are heavily aligned on a lot of things.
right.
He might hate my list every year more than anybody else.
I see him singing your praises. You know what? I love Mark, right? Because he's a great supporter, no matter what, right? He gonna support us. He gonna support you on your list and everything, right? He's
But part of that
none the
support
wiser.
is telling me how bullshit it is.
Yeah, I felt like he was kind of championing it though a little bit. Here's the thing: I was discrediting you, but I just didn't want to be mad that night, so I came back and looked at it in the morning. Right? I just wanted you to feel me like I was
upset.
really gonna disregard you.
And you took that energy
Yeah,
into the
because
next
it was
day.
like, yo, dog, Joel Ortiz, come on, man. Like, yes, he still be firing and everything and firing shit off or whatever. But this is not an album that we was all anticipating. Maybe you specifically.
But see, did you hear that little piece of your own criteria that you snuck in there?
What's that?
This isn't an album we were all anticipating. I don't give a fuck about that.
I know you don't.
I don't care about anticipation. I
Yeah.
don't care about album sales. I don't care about anything except what does it
To the
sound
point,
like?
though, you don't sound realistic.
No, I care about the music. I
Right.
don't care about any of the headlines or news stories that surround it.
On that whole list, how many new guys did you listen to?
New guys.
Yes, new.
Like, what does that mean?
Like I said, like Big X the Plug had a great album.
I don't know who that is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you come across new music?
Okay, well, Sauce Walker, he's new to a lot of people.
Now that's why I find that even more crazy because Sauce Walker's on Big X the Plug's music. Because Sauce Walker's from Texas, right?
Yeah.
They're all in the same little group. So I was like, yo, I feel like you would like Big X.
I might.
That's where it was like, yo.
Maybe I've heard him on a feature, just didn't realize who I was.
I realized for 3 years we have been having this argument. The one thing that I have never asked you is how do you find new music?
I still take a like if it's the right cosign, I'll run with it. So if it's somebody that's signed to somebody, I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. I found Sauce Walker on Griselda feature.
That's a wild feature to give like them for the both of them to be together like that. That is a kind of a wild
It worked
feature.
though. But some of these people, they're not necessarily new. I don't know what new means to people versus me.
Right.
Because like some people still think
Well, I mean, there's somebody out right now that just hasn't had enough buzz for it to trigger off like where we're at right now, currently, like geographical wise.
Like you was over here talking shit about where I was gonna have Styles P like in the top 5. He's right next to Drake.
I skimmed for that. I did. But no, that was me game planning, like talking. I didn't put the time period on that. We had talked way earlier. I was making a guess. I was like fucking like Woj. I was trying to get some insider of like I know. But I knew, here's the thing too, like I love Lloyd Banks.
Right.
But it's been like 3 or 4 albums with the same cadence and same type of like beats and shit where it's like, all right, man, like let's do something a little different.
But you're also forgetting like it's not just the album itself. In a list, you're rating it versus what it's next to. There wasn't a whole bunch of shit this year to be next to.
That's true. I'll give you that. I definitely give you that. Because the way I felt about music last year, right, was that I liked a lot more R&B projects. So when I was going to do my list, it was going to have R&B to it. But like what happened was I got all the way to like April and Styles P came out, I want to say February-ish of last year. So that was an enjoyable listen for me. But as I'm going through some of these like these tracks, I was just like, nah, I can't do it. Like I just literally can't go through this. And Sauce Walker, I listened to a few of that, and I was like, Well, so shout out to you for making it through it because I couldn't do it.
That was the whole thing, right? I don't want to say I discovered him. I discovered him whatever year that was, but I never went to hear his music, his solo music.
Right.
He put out the one that's like in the top 5.
Yeah.
Came out in December 2022. When I heard that album, I was like, ooh, this is the one right here.
Yeah.
I loved it. And so when he came out with his 2023 album.
You didn't like that one?
It's all the way in the back. The very first album I posted was his.
But but you don't like it?
I hated it.
That's crazy.
I hated it.
Because I thoroughly enjoyed it.
The one with the OnlyFans shit on there?
That's crazy. That's a highlight for you.
That's a single from it.
Anyway. Can't. It's the 2023 release. So if you only release one,
that shit was ass.
Well, man, I tried, y'all. Like at the end of the day,
it's gonna keep happening.
Even Durant texted me. He was so hot. And he was like, man, he got Drake so far down. I was like, I'm not the big, like if you had him in the top 25, I can understand it. You know what I mean? But 50 is kind of wild, especially with Scary Hours on there. So
it's all about, you guys don't understand proportion. That's all good. We gonna have the same conversation next year.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Just long as you need.
This is my thing though.
I need reminders just as much as you do.
This is the part that I hate the most though.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Like Durant got to bring that energy to where I want it brought. Don't text people on the side. I want everybody all on the same page.
Tried.
People hit me on the side. People want to do it like, no, let's all do it.
I tried, bro. You see, I don't text you in there. I try to flame you up in there so we can start.
You did,
something.
Then but then you also go, I'm out. Like I can't.
Oh yeah, because y'all kept stepping over me. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna fucking step.
I'm out.
You gonna acknowledge me, man. You ain't gonna just keep stepping over me.
Yeah, well, that's why we lost to someone else in the group chat.
Yeah. Oh man. Nah, I'm not gonna leave the whole thing though. I'm not that sad. Big Hit and Game came out with an album. I had no idea who the fuck Big Hit was.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay because given now that I know that he was locked up for a while. So if anybody knows anything about Hit Boy, he's a producer / rapper. If anyone knows anything about the Hit Boy, Big Hit is his dad. And so when y'all was talking, I thought Big Hit was like 25, 26, right? He raps like, like that, but he raps like a LA dude. And so when I looked up the history and stuff like that, now there were some parts on the album where I didn't like, but what I really appreciated was the Dom Kennedy feature. Hit Boy's beats are so good that Dom Kennedy said, I got to rap to this. And the Game is going to do his thing, right? So
so you like that album?
I like 3 songs off of that album. Okay, not enough to sit here and be like, oh shit, this is like the greatest thing. That's why you didn't hear nothing from me, right? Like usually if I overhype some shit, you'll know that I liked it, but I didn't overhype this one. How'd you feel about it? It's whatever.
Probably about the same.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna start checking you like all throughout the year. Like I'm gonna because this is where I fucked up at. I don't normally ask you how you feel about shit. Like when we talking about it.
I mean, I'll start bringing up more and more because people just think I just don't listen to music, or I do what you do and I listen to it at the end of the year for like 10 minutes and be like, all right, let me start assigning numbers.
That's fair. That's fair. It was a jab in that, but I take that. Yeah. Because that's too much, man. Like,
No, I understand. For everybody else, it's too much.
have you checked our other favorite pods, New Time?
New Time.
They did a 4-hour pod.
Oh, yeah. But
It'd be shit like that be
I
fucking
listen
me
to
up.
the Saturday ones on Mondays. So.
Oh, okay. It's 4 hours. So hopefully you got a lot of time. It'd be shit like that. And honestly, like, you listen to music while you in the house and stuff like that with my kids and the shit that we be doing, they need to hear me. So, you know.
Well, I'm back at work now, too, in the office. So
So that's
headphone in all day.
Oh,
Leave me
yeah.
alone.
Oh, I thought it was going to be decreased. So you're it's increased.
If anything, it's more focused.
How do you feel about traffic now that you're back in the office?
I mean, I hate it. Traffic. I feel the same way no matter what I'm doing.
Right.
I just don't like it.
Yeah.
But, but I also went back during a holiday week. Kids are still out of school, so I haven't really hit that type of traffic yet.
Y'all still out of school right now too, huh?
They go back Wednesday.
Oh man, it's gonna be full fledged then. Cause Chula Vista, I've learned, has been like it's the driving force of all the traffic that we have. Like in this little area, I need bro to stay under 99. When you perked up, I knew what was happening. I looked straight that way too.
This game doesn't mean anything anymore to me as it did this morning.
Yeah. Well, and we're phony, so we put the TV on in here now, right? So we might be having some live reactions to things. All right, go ahead, hit my hand claps, man. We're done with music, man.
What's time? It's the 7th. Yeah, I might have to wait till next New Year's Eve now. People have been bugging me to tell this New Year's story for like 2 years. I'm like, I'll get it next time.
You want to tell it right now?
I mean, if you got a full schedule, we can.
This is some shit from last week that I was getting off. But you go ahead. It's New Year's, bro. Go ahead and tell it. Random shit to fill in time.
All right. So normally around these episodes, we'll tell like a New Year's story from our past.
Maybe you'll jog my memory. There we go. Favorite New Year's story.
When we was outside getting into mischief or whatever.
Absolutely.
So this one was interesting because a lot of shit happened, and not all of it really happened to me, but when I tell it from my perspective of what happened through me, it was just you ever seen that movie Project X about the party? It's just it's kind of wild. It's just kind of ridiculous and wild all the way around.
Yes.
There was a lot of that, at least the scenery in my head, like watching it. So it starts off, a bunch of people talking about New Year's, what we doing, and the bulk of people that I was running with was like, all right, we all gonna do this. We going to a state party. We're gonna carpool. We're just gonna. This is where we're gonna be at.
I wonder if I'm not trying to get you off too crazy. I wonder if we're the only area that says shit like that, like state party. Keep going. That term I haven't heard in a long ass time.
And so me and Jonathan had previous plans. We had to go at the time. We were both working at the same restaurant.
Yes.
We had a work thing we were gonna do, right? And so that's what we did. We went to the little work function. That was cool, whatever. And then there was 2 girls that we worked with that didn't go to that were like, "What y'all trying to do?" And so he was like, we were like, "Word, right?"
How old were you?
At that time, that had to be 07. I was probably like 19.
Okay, so you didn't have nothing to really do anyway, but
no, there was a lot of options.
Okay,
but yeah. We didn't drink at the time. We weren't doing none of that.
Right.
We were just out here doing what we had to do.
Edge.
Yeah. And so we finished the work thing. Now the girls, they were located right off the 805, the 47th exit, right?
You don't fall straight, huh?
So
that's his strip. Go ahead.
So we roll out and we go finish that. Soon as we get off the freeway, we make that little turn by the gas station. We hear gunshots. Pop, 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 pop.
That's crazy.
My window was down. I'm like, yo, those is a little too close for comfort. Like,
right.
They might not be shooting at me, but I'm not wanting to find out. So this is
New Year's Eve though.
Yeah. At this point in time, it's probably after midnight.
Okay, that's what I was good. That was my next question. Okay, there we go.
Because I think we waited for the ball to drop. We left. We went up there. We got off freeway. Me and him, we had the same thing. Nope, fuck that. We going back.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, take me home. Went back to East Lake. I'm like, hey, it was all good, right? So I had some other work that was going to meet me at my house.
Oh, okay, you got options.
Different, yeah, different, you know.
Bingo, I got options.
So I come home, I pull up, I see some of the homies' cars outside. So I was like, oh, they still out.
Yeah.
So I go back in my room, and you know, before she gets there, I'm texting him like, everybody good, whatever. Not expecting to hear nothing, whatever. That's just what I did.
Yeah.
So I put my phone down, I lay down, and I'm just like, I'm waiting on her. My phone starts ringing. I pick it up. Hey man, call you gangbang homies, blah blah blah. Get the fuck out here. We need you, blah 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 blah. And just hangs up.
Okay.
Now, if you know this individual, I'm gonna call him G. And that's not really. If you know him, if anybody here knows the story, they know who G is anyway.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, okay, he been drinking. He just being ridiculous right now. Whatever, right? Put the phone down, didn't think nothing of it. He said, he calls me back. Why the fuck you hang up on me? I said, I ain't even touch my phone, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah. He's like, shit's going crazy right now. Come through, call people you know, like we need help. And I'm like, he over here. Right when I'm about to dismiss him, I can hear somebody else. I was like, I heard the voice. I recognize the voice in the background. All I hear is, hey man, if you can just give us our homie back, we'll leave. I said, what?
That's kind of crazy.
That sounds kind of wild.
You want help?
So I'm like, where y'all at? And where he said was, he didn't tell me anything. They just hung up. So I said, shit. Well, they said they're at a state party. So I'm going to just start driving north a little bit. And I'm going to try to figure it out as I get in the car. So I leave. I'm going to censor a smidget of the story, you know, for our purposes. On the way out, the girl pulls up. And I'm like, yo, I got to go. My bad. Like, I'm going to hit you. I got to take care of something real quick.
Yeah.
She has not spoken to me since. She got so fired up. Oh, you about to go to another bitch house? And blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I ain't got this kind of time right now. Like, what sense does that make? If you right here, she was wearing a trench coat. I already know what type of time she was on. All this other shit. Why the fuck would I? Anyway, I left. Shout out to her. I mean, no hard feelings. I promise you I wasn't going to another bitch house.
She got to let that shit go now. That shit was almost 14 years ago.
No, I saw her.
Remarried?
I dodged a bullet.
Oh, yeah.
What you mean remarried? She would.
I mean, is she married? My bad. Is she married?
Nah.
Kids? Nothing?
No.
Just life took its toll on her?
And you can sell by her eye sockets, probably. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, all right. One of those.
So I'm on the freeway, and I can finally get a hold of, see, am I going to use somebody's real name? Yeah. I get a hold of Jeff.
Okay.
And I'm like, Jeff, finally, someone who's like a little more put together. What is going on? He tells me where they're at. I said, I thought y'all was supposed to be at state. Why the fuck are y'all over here?
Right.
You know, the wrong neighborhood to be in. And I'm like, all right, so I'll meet y'all over whatever, right? So I meet them at some gas station, and it's 4 of them. And I'm like, I could have swore there was like 8 of y'all. He's like, yeah. So he gets in the car, and
when you tell the story for y'all that don't know Jeff, I'm not going to say anything about Jeff other than it's Jeff. He's come a long way from this type of story. That's crazy.
Basically what happened was some shit popped off. Half of the people ran, half the people stayed. And so he takes me to them, right?
To the who? The ones that stayed?
The ones that stayed.
Okay.
Because they are, at this point, one of the ones who I know stayed, the voice I recognize, and the one who called me weren't over in this party.
Right.
And so when I hear we just want our homie back, those people were still...
Right. They were still in the mix with everything.
And so I'm in my car, and I'm kind of creeping along, like, okay, they're over here. I was like, oh, shit, the cops is here. Like, there's a bunch of shit going on. There's people laid out, and there's 3 people in handcuffs, and I'm like, damn, those are my people.
Right.
So I'm creeping past, like, all right, I need to turn around, but I can't do it, but I'm not trying to look too suspicious.
Thank God you didn't drink during this time.
Nah, but...
That's the one area you don't want to be in a little lit during that type of activity.
Yeah, but there was some other shit. Anyway.
Yeah. Don't worry. Just keep going.
So as I'm trying to roll past, like, all right, I'll catch back up with him and we'll figure it out. G wants to scream, hey, yo, he made it. We right. And I'm like, yo, don't bring no attention to my car. And so I get past, I go around, I'm on some other block. I go like a block or two away and I post up. As I'm posted up, I see a bunch of people huddled around. It looked like a body.
Damn.
And he was like laid the fuck out. And I'm like, yo, what's up with him? And then so Jeff starts telling me his rendition of the story. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. Now, I say this every time. I still don't know to this day if he knows that he was in the car while this was happening. And I'm not going to say it, but I'll tell you off mic. Because I was like, how the fuck he didn't see this was funny. Anyway, fast forward. Some cops came around that corner. That body that I thought was laid out got up. They scattered like roaches. They was gone, right? So they stopped. And now I'm parked. And I got my... At this point in my life in like '08 or whenever that was, anytime I was kind of stopped or parked or idle, I had my windows down because I got a lot of tent tickets.
Yeah.
And so I had my windows down just out of habit.
I still do that now, which is crazy. Go ahead.
And so the cop, they got their guns out and they're walking up on my car. Now, if they walk all the way up on my car and some shit happens, like it's going to be a wrap.
Right.
And I was like, oh man, at this point, it was too late for me to start the car and go. But I was thinking about it. And Jeff was like, oh shit. And then just like sign from God, like out of nowhere, like last possible second. He's walking up on my car and I was like, pop, 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 more New Year's Eve shots. Both of the officers hit the ground. And then he looks at me, he's like, you see, we got a lot of shit to deal with. Go home. I said, yes, sir. Turn my shit on. At that point, we were the ones stuck. And everyone else on the corner that was all up, they all left. So now I'm the last one. And so now I'm driving back home. And now a lot of the people, remember all their cars were on my block and everyone was whatever. They all went next door because that house was open. I pull into the block. You wouldn't think it was like 2, 3 in the morning. And it is live outside. And I pull in. There's a car there. The whole windshield's busted. There's people on the driveway. There's like bloody spills coming down the driveway.
That's crazy.
You know that green box in front of my mom's house, like across that little grassy area?
Yeah.
We got somebody sitting there punching it out of frustration. We got people in the garage doing this and that. And so I get out the car, and mind you, I'm still one of the only sober ones.
Right.
And I'm over here the whole time.
What time is it at this time?
It's like 3:30 in the morning.
That's so crazy.
And I'm over here thinking like, damn, Jonathan get the best sleep of his life. I just dropped him off home.
Right. He don't even know
I'm over here, man. I should have never sent that text out. I could have been just wham, bam, go to sleep, whatever.
How many of those mistakes would you say you still make now? 0, huh?
Well, I mean, I don't be going out no more. But
I was thinking about that because she was saying like you said you was in bed by 12:05. I was asleep by 12:10, right? And my homie hit me and he was like, yo, man, like, what y'all doing? That's a crazy question because I'm 34, dog. I'm not doing anything.
But that wasn't even in the story.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Because there's blood driving down the driveway. They're punching the green box, shattered things, this and that. G's missing a shoe.
This is still by state?
No, I pulled up into my block now.
This block.
Yeah, you've been watching TV because you missed a little.
No. No, I heard you say I heard you say the
so
block.
I park, I get out, and I'm like, all right, I'm sober. And now the house that they're at next door, I'm like, dang, his pops is up. And so now I got to just be me where I got to regulate, I got to organize.
This street's not even like that anymore.
I'm apologizing on behalf of them, even though I had nothing to do with it. Because the dude who's punching the green box, he's mad at me. He said, none of this.
So you just pulled up and he's just punching the green box already?
He's punching it out of frustration. And then
he wasn't in the car with you or nothing.
No, he
like
was
that.
one of the ones in the car that ran.
Right. You had nothing to do with him for like 2 hours.
No, he's mad at me.
This is the guy that called you then?
No.
Okay, I'm lost.
Exactly. Just listen. So
I know. But the listeners are asking the same question.
No,
go
they're
ahead.
not. You were watching TV because
No,
I could tell where
go
you
ahead.
fell off.
No, go ahead.
He's punching the green box and he's mad. Then he turns that anger towards me and said, none of this would have happened if you was there. And I'm like, really? He's like, because they listen to you. I'm like, still, like, so you mad at me because I didn't go. Anyway, off of him.
That wasn't part of the story, but I see it now. That's kind of. Do I know this person?
Yeah.
It's the person that we always talk about?
No.
Okay. Because that sounds like their trait, but go ahead.
So G doesn't have a shoe, and he's kind of just like, man. And he's like, whatever. This ain't the first little kerfuffle he's been in.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, where's your shoe? He looks down. He's like, I don't know. He's like, man, I think I killed a bitch though. I
Oh,
was like,
that's
what
crazy.
you mean? He's like, man, and every time he tells the story, the weapon changes. But he's like, yeah, this bitch came at me with an AK-47, and he had a crowbar.
AK-47 is
And
crazy.
he fucking hit this bitch in the face with a crowbar, and she went down.
We're gonna start with the AK-47.
Every time the weapon changes.
And it was dark.
It was midnight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
But-
so he's cool, whatever. And he's just like, all right, I'll find my shoe later. I walk in. There's a fridge in the thing. I'm getting some ice. His pops comes out, and I'm like, hey, I wasn't there. I don't know what's going on. I just want to apologize for all this bullshit brought to your doorstep. I'm going to try to get it all together for you. He's like, man, don't even worry about it. I go in the house. There's people crying on the couch. I go into the bathroom. There's two dudes hugging. We made it out, man. We made it out. I was like, yo, what the fuck happened? Because none of this shit, I'm hearing different stories and none of this shit's adding up.
Tell me the story. Get
So
there.
they told me, so here's what I really think happened. And I put all the stories together. Here's what happened. They went to state for like 2 minutes. Where it's like, nah, this ain't dangerous enough. They go, Jeff and a bunch of people at that time, they always got something going on.
Right.
Oh, I can find something else. They end up here. So what they found out was they went to like an all Mexican party. And, they were down there.
At state.
No. They were where they shouldn't have been.
Right. Okay.
And then so they go into the party and they're like, man, because Marcus was there too. Marcus is part of the crew that ran too.
This is a very wild group.
And Marcus was like, yo, he had this whole thing. He's latched onto one phrase and he just kept repeating it the whole night. He's like, but everything was going so well. Everything was going so well. That's all he kept saying. And so he's like, yeah, so we were in this party. Everyone was having a good time. And then the Mexican dudes got mad. I was like, mad? Why? Because I'm hearing multiple different reasons for why.
Why?
And I'm not putting it past y'all that y'all didn't start this shit. Because I know y'all.
Okay.
And so from what I'm hearing is, oh no, they were mad because their girls were dancing with us because they didn't want to dance. They wanted to post up, drink, and meme mug.
That makes a lot of sense.
I was like, hey, maybe that could have happened. I was like, that's a possibility. But I'm also hearing something else, and that seems like that could have happened too.
No, but the first one still makes sense. But tell me the
Makes
second
sense.
one.
So what happened was they got mad. They got on the mic and said, if you're not related to people here at Devoa, everybody get out. And that was pretty much just us.
Both things make sense.
No, it made sense. And
especially if you see your girl dancing with some dudes you ain't seen before, and then you go, oh, y'all know them? Nah, I don't. Get on the mic. They all make sense in sequential order. Keep
but
going.
the way it sounded was, it's not like it was just a big group of somebody's girlfriends. It was a big group of girls who maybe they just wanted to get at the party. They weren't necessarily their property, for lack of a better term.
Right.
And so they get kicked out the party, and on the way out of the party, the homie who was abducted said, well, at least I'm not a dirty or something like that.
Gotta use my bleeps.
That sounds about right too.
Yeah.
So he goes out, and then I'm hearing that
God, our frontal lobes weren't developed.
now I'm hearing that didn't really happen. What happened was that same dude got mad, has a crowbar. When they get kicked out of the party, he starts beating the fuck out of people's cars. And then they come out.
Which explains the busted windows when you
No. His window was busted. The dude whose crowbar, his window was busted for a different reason. But so they all come out the party. Now remember, there's eight or nine of them. There's 30 Mexican dudes.
Right.
So the 4 guys were like, yo, fuck that. Everybody gets to their car. The 4 that got into one car, they got away.
Yeah.
The other car, they threw a brick. It goes through, shatters the thing. The driver, the one who got abducted, he gets GTA pulled out the car. They start poking him up. And then my other man, who was in the background, he had a car. He ran somebody over with the car trying to save him. And then G's out the car and he's stumbling. He finds the crowbar and just starts hitting people.
Damn.
And he always down for something. And then the cops come, and that's why they were the ones that were getting arrested.
And this is when they called you right in the middle of things, right when it happened.
They called me. I don't know what.
No. You don't even have to guess.
I don't
That
know
is
what.
the time.
I don't know exactly
Shit's
what
going
part.
down.
Yeah,
you need to get
yeah.
here. Crowbar. Poop.
Right. I just don't know how much.
Up.
I just don't know how much time he had to call me.
I'm gonna tell you.
Blah.
And your whole story. This is what makes this shit wild. Why are you calling Lex? Yo, not
see,
saying that you soft or that like that.
Well, that's part of the story that I can't tell.
I know. That's fine. Call the police. You a vigilante?
The story is so much more funny when I could just
be yourself.
Stick that part in there a little bit.
Yeah. We have daytime jobs that we try to preserve.
But yeah, there was it was an interesting night, and then once we finally calmed everything down, and then there were some girls because they brought girls too, and then they had met up checking up on everybody, and everybody's just in this big living room, and everybody was segregated by who ran and who didn't.
Yes.
And they're beefing, and I'm in the middle the whole night. Now I'm just in the middle. Now I'm tired because it's 5 a.m.
Absolutely.
We're trying to keep my man up because he has a concussion. He thinks he's gonna make it to work in a few hours.
Yeah, I think he should have went to the hospital too. Y'all just frontal lobe just was not.
And I'm sitting there irritated because all I'm thinking about is damn, I could have just clapped some cheeks and went to sleep. Johnson's getting the best sleep of his fucking life
while all this is going on.
I already defeated. I outran
I'm just
death.
trying to figure out why
I outran death on 47.
Why you're the Godfather? That's the part that look. You do a lot of great things. You're the.
I don't do as much as that anymore. I guess back then I was full-fledged in it, where it was just
you don't have the time for it now. Now that's my question to you, right? What would you say after hearing this fucking wild ass story? That's worse than Project X, in my opinion, right? Because that's white boy crazy. And then your shit is yo, what the fuck? And when you said it, when you was yo, we was at a Latino party, Mexican party, whatever, right? I thought about where you was close to. So wherever they pulled off at, if you off in City Heights, going to parties and shit like that, that's fucking wild to me, right? Because that place is
back in that time, that 06 to 09, 010 frame, we was frequenting City Heights
that
too.
Shit is like Tales from the Crypt over there. I worked over there, and when it get night, that's not in my job description. I do something completely different. So then my question to you now, right? 14 years later, staying in theme of New Year's and everything else, right?
15, 16.
I had a list of questions that we had out here.
Yeah.
What would you say your best night out was in 2023, which is going to sound completely different from what it was fucking back in 09?
Shit. Damn, you know what? I had an extra week to think about that shit, and I forgot about it.
You still didn't have one?
I'm trying to think.
So C's posed these questions to me. I thought they were solid questions because when he asked me, I was on the golf course. It was that Saturday, and I was like, yeah, damn it. I was like, I'll get back to you later, dog, because some of these I got to think about. Not to be corny or nothing like that, but I think the best night out I had was 2 weeks ago, for my birthday. I thought it was dope to get everyone together that I really mess with because my birthday's December 20th. It's usually close to Christmas. Usually people are hanging out with their families and shit like that, and they doing their own thing and whatnot. But to see everybody that I really fuck with come out and kind of celebrate, Duran didn't make it, but he came later on. So it was that whole little weekend was kind of the best little sequence that I've had. And then I realized when he asked me, I was like, shit, I really don't go out in the evening time like that anymore. Usually most Saturdays and Sundays, I'm in the house by 8 o'clock.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I thought that question should be a lot easier to pinpoint because I feel I don't really go out like that. So I got to find one that I was oh, yeah, it's probably that one. And I couldn't really think. Usually around the holiday season, I'm going to find one because of what you're saying. You're more likely to be around a bunch of people you fuck with more frequently. And this is the time to do all that.
Right.
But I can't think of a certain one where I was oh, yeah, it's probably that. Obviously, this wasn't my favorite year.
Right.
So,
would you say the cruise ship? Did you have some good nights out there, really, or not?
I mean, even at the cruise ship, I feel we was in bed at midnight.
Each time.
Chilling.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Right, that's why.
We was in a...
She asked me, she's like, you want to take Lex on the trip with us? I said, he ain't going to enjoy that. I said, he probably enjoy saving money in his pocket over spending it with us.
When y'all going on that cruise again?
I'm not going to say it on here, but it's going to be May.
Oh.
Yeah, end of May.
No, but, shit.
I can skip to the next one if you
we
can't
can skip to
figure
the next one too. We were just at Legoland for G's birthday. That's the very end of the year.
You was there in the evening time.
I mean, if you follow on Instagram, you know you're doing it now because you know I'm gonna keep you on your toes.
First of all, I realized that like the shit that we was at in Legoland, I was like, yo, we didn't hit everything we needed to because I don't remember seeing go-karts. But we
but
had
Legoland kind of like, man, they trying to get them prices off. Hell no. I mean, you got to get them tickets on base.
You find somebody to get your tickets on base?
Yeah, so they wanted to charge us $130.
Nah, it wasn't like a person gets in free and the kids half off.
I don't know.
Free or some shit like
I know
that.
we got it down to 80.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I was like, nah, not for Legoland because I went through and it was cool for the day, but I didn't find myself like I don't need to come back here.
Yeah, that's where I was like, yo, it's a lot of money. Even the barbecue. They have a little barbecue spot in there. I thought it was amazing. I don't know if you made it that high.
We went around it. I think they stopped at a pizza place.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. I wanted the barbecue. The barbecue wasn't that bad. For Legoland, I was like, oh, this is amazing. Best purchase of 2023. Shit, I done forgot my answers to some of these motherfuckers, man. Like when he asked me, I had to make sure that I had them down pat. Oh. So my wife, she just started playing golf. And so golf clubs are expensive. And I didn't know how much she was going to actually like use them. But I bought her some golf clubs off of OfferUp and she's been using them. Like she hit balls yesterday. Then there was one week she went 4 days out in a row. And I thought it was cool because like my daughter has a set. So we went out and played, last weekend together. We all played together as a family, and I thought that was dope. Like it was like one purchase that we actually utilized that kind of like brought us together. I can name a million purchases that I had in 2023, but the one that was most impactful was buying my wife golf clubs because before it was just me and my daughter out there, and now that I have my wife out there, it's pretty cool.
That's what's up. I'm not even sure if I bought anything.
You bought something
for myself? I don't know.
That purchase could be a ticket. Like you went to a concert or something like that, right? It don't have to be like a monetary item. Just any purchases that you made.
No, because that just breaks my heart all over again because it didn't happen.
What's that?
I bought a ticket for the Doggy Style 30th anniversary at Hollywood Bowl, and that shit got canceled.
For real? Why?
He was standing with the writers.
No.
Only show he canceled. He was still out here touring and doing music. Fuck, man. I'm mad all over again.
Oh, you didn't buy your Laker tickets either, though, huh?
Nah.
Okay, then let me say this. What was the best activity that you had in 2023? Instead of best purchase, I realize you were a dude that receives a lot. Like you got good company of people that love to take care of you.
Well, I think everyone kind of has the sound mind of like this. I think the same way you described it back when you first gave me that iPhone. He ain't gonna do it himself,
right?
And so it's like
it's not even like feeling bad for you. It's like he deserves more.
Right.
That's not even feeling bad.
And it's love, but it's just like, nah, like I don't need much.
Right.
So I don't really, I think the only thing I got excited, something I wanted to purchase this year was the little walking treadmill for the desk.
Yeah.
I want to get one of those, but I haven't done it yet.
That'd be fire. You can get that with your flex spending, huh? I think you can if you write it off.
But see, my flex spending, I've already used that full account for the next 3 years.
How do you get that off? I thought it was only.
No, I mean like in my head, it's already spent.
Okay. I was about to say, how is he getting that shit off? That don't even make no sense. Okay,
you know what? I'll be kind of whatever with it. I get my best purchase of the year might have been therapy.
That's what's up. You still doing it now?
It was kind of hard to get an appointment recently, and I'm waiting on something else.
That's crazy. When you say recently, I mean a lot of people going through shit with
Well, no, because this time they take vacation and shit.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really get an appointment, but and I'm waiting on a couple other things. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be still heavy therapy, especially this year.
That's really like an investment in self. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty cool.
Just gonna try to line it up, finish. I still got a couple things. Dental wise, and then therapy, and then the top of next year, I'm probably gonna worry about my eyes. I thought I was gonna do my eyes this year. I'm gonna do them next year.
Oh, okay, as in 2025.
Yeah, and if I can work the system like I hope I can, I'm gonna have them charge me for one eye December 31st.
Yeah,
Charge me for the other one January 1st.
That's wild.
Because I need that.
Yeah, that's 47th in Imperial activity right there. I mess with it, man. Shout out to you. Best internet/pop culture moment in 2023. Now, mine, while you think about that, it took me a while, but there's only one that stands out to me in all of 2023.
I'm going to lean on you for this one.
This was Ocean Gate.
Ocean Gate.
The one where the submarine and all that.
Yeah.
That shit fucked us up for about 3 or 4 days. Because I was sitting on the course like, yo, what really happened like during this time? And I was like, yo, like that one was the one that we all came together in unison together at like the world.
Damn, I should have listened to Uncle Murder's wrap up. That would have prompted a lot more.
But see, even that, because like what he focused heavy on was like Diddy. he gave Diddy a whole part 2, right? So he gave him the whole part 2. So I'm like, I'm not sure. Yeah, it was that one to me was just the biggest one.
The 50 Cent concert, that might be one of those nights out.
Oh, that was in 2023.
Yeah, that was a good night.
You know what's funny? Like I be feeling like the year go by so fast, but then people say shit like that, and we literally had that conversation about 7 months ago.
Not even. That was August 31st.
Oh, time go by slow then.
No, I think there's so much stuff. That's why this last question about the pop culture, whatever, that one's hard because everything you would think like 20 years ago, that riverboat shit that you talking about would have been like, you could talk about that all summer.
Right.
You said that got us for 3 or 4 days, and that was considered long because
the
something
next
else
shit
was about
that
to happen.
happened.
You know what I mean?
Even Cat Williams, right? Like when we look back and
he started 2024 off strong.
He did that the first 3 days, right? So it's like, yo, if you look at it from the tail end, by the time December rolls around of this year, I'll probably forget about that. I have to go back into it. Big moment though. He's at 33 million right now.
The way Kanye fans like cape for him.
He had another moment too, I'm sure.
Because when it comes to Kanye, I'm definitely like, oh, he's being manic right now, and not that he's saying all bullshit, but I was like, he's having a moment right now. I don't feel that about Cat because this is the biggest thing Cat's done. This ain't the first time I've ever heard him talk like this.
No.
And he gives it up like that, and I believe of him as very sound mind and spirit when he does it.
I think what the impact of it. One, Shannon Sharp is crossover, right? Like to me, Shannon Sharp is a crossover to where like there's other people that listen now because of his ESPN affiliations, right? Obviously, Super Bowl champion, Denver Broncos and shit like that. But I think if you ask your average white person or something like that, if they knew who Shannon Sharp was, in our age bracket that probably weren't old enough to see that Super Bowl, he wasn't that much of a hero. You know what I mean? Like to them, right?
No, I think if anything, right now we see him because once he got on TV, I was like, oh, he's giving it up. He's smoking Black and Miles on air. He drinking E&J.
Right.
Like you got more.
You got the feng shui.
You
too.
got more money than this, dog.
I look up to him.
Doing?
He got to follow off like off of that. Because before I wouldn't follow like Shannon. I would just listen to him on Undisputed and all that other shit.
Yeah. I don't listen to the podcast.
Or Uninterrupted. Is it Uninterrupted? I don't know the shows like
Undisputed.
that.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't follow Skip. I'm not a big Skip Bayless guy, so I don't like watching him, but I would watch his clips, right? And, that's Unk. And so, like, I enjoyed it, but with Cat, like you said, he does normally talk like that, but I think this time he was going for headshots, right? More so, he was way more revved up in the shit he was saying than what he was before, and he concentrated on. I watched the whole thing. Like he rode Cedric the Entertainer the whole time through.
Well, excuse me. I think the comedy, at least how a lot of comedians speak about it, their circle is small.
Right.
Everybody kind of fucks with each other. They support each other. And then there's those certain outliers like a Cat or whatever that maybe not everybody fucks with. So they kind of segment off like, oh, I fuck with this group, and nobody's makes you choose sides. Like, oh, you fuck with Cat, I really don't. But it's all comedy at the end of the day. And I think I didn't listen to the interview. I maybe heard 3 different clips, and it just sounds like there was some talk that he doesn't believe and doesn't like. And he just like, I'm not going to allow people to lie on me like that. And so let me give y'all the truth. I got receipts for it or whatever y'all need, and it is what it is. Because sometimes you just be getting lied on like, oh, he's crazy or whatever. Yeah, it's funny. He got beat up by the child. This, and that. And it's like, nah, like.
I forgot that happened.
There was a lot of bullshit that happened with him. That's like, damn, Cat, you look crazy.
Yeah, getting arrested all the time. And then he explains that shit, though.
And then I think is one of the people have different top fives and top whatever. I'm of that cloth that thinks that Cat is severely underrated.
Oh yeah, I agree.
When it comes to especially his stand up, because stand up is the hardest form of comedy.
Would you say he's one of the kings?
One of the kings.
The way he broke down, like
I just know his stand up's a lot funnier than a lot of these other people you got up here.
Absolutely. And
Consistent.
His shit was Faison don't even got one. Right? And I'm not saying Faison's a king, but then Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer were stealing jokes.
Stealing jokes I'm surprised that wasn't out there, at least in that type of way, like sooner or like a bigger thing. Because if anything's going to piss that community off, it's stealing jokes.
But that was I think that was something that was known amongst them. But again, that's pre-internet.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like we can know that about you and keep that in our comedy circle. And just be like, oh.
But Comic View was what, 90s, late 90s or whatever, like mid 90s until now. So we're almost 30 years removed from that. So it's like, if you bring that up, fucking hell, I'm about to lose it.
But that's what I'm saying. They keep it within the family. You did that. We don't fuck with you that. We might not talk about it all the time, but we know what you did.
Right.
And you know what you did. You go off, be successful. You got 30 jobs. You rich as fuck. All that other shit. Cool. But we know what it is.
Right.
So that whole Kings of Comedy bullshit, fuck out of here. And I'm okay with that type of energy.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's not like Cat was out here screaming at the whole time. He waited till he felt like, man, I'm sick of y'all violating me, blah, 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 blah.
And it had the greatest, the
that's
greatest
why.
moment.
That's why. I mean, I haven't heard the whole thing, but everything I heard, I can believe that 100%.
Yeah.
Even if some of it might break my heart.
I would say that 90% of what he said was probably had some truth to it, right? Like, of everything that he said, there was a lot of things where I was like, oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. He even was talking about Michael Blackson being dirty. Like, when he first came out, I was like, yo, man, why don't you just act like you was a king?
Well, because that was like one of the things that came out a little bit later or later than, everyone thought like, oh, he's not from Africa. No, he's from Philly.
Right.
He don't talk like that.
No, not at all.
But it's like we first saw him in Next Friday. That's like 99, 2000?
Yes.
98 at earliest. I feel like that became like news maybe 10 years ago. Like that's a good amount of time to not know that.
Right. He has some stand-ups or like some
I don't think he's funny.
Not stand-ups, but he has like no. He leans heavy.
I like how they went back to after that interview and they posted it. They posted a Wildin' Out episode where Cat was going crazy on Michael Blackson. It's like he meant every fucking word of it.
No, absolutely. I'm sure
he really doesn't like it.
Absolutely. New goals this year.
Ooh.
I got some while you think get some cooking. Part of what I was saying was that I'm off this week, so I've realized that, and here's the deal: like nobody's gonna pat me on the back. But a lot of these statements that I be hearing about, oh, that job gonna be there, like you ain't even gotta worry about it. Or if I left, like they just gonna replace me. Like that shit has been hitting me hard. So I was like, yo, I don't want to be 40, 50. If something got wrong with me, like I got sick or something, I would have regret that I didn't take this time off that they were allowing me to have. When I looked at my vacation balance before I went off, the max that they would give me is $240. Guess where I'm at? $240. I can't even
give y'all $240.
Yeah.
Shit.
You said only?
They give us $640 before they kick us out
for vacation.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. I get 900. I got 906 sick hours. That don't mean nothing to me though.
Right.
But I get 240 and I can't accrue anymore. Right.
Oh, so, they just don't let you accrue it.
Yeah, I won't.
They let us accrue it until they find you and go, no, leave.
Oh, for real?
So it'll still accrue because they can't not let you accrue it.
Right.
But then they'll make you do like a mandatory vacation.
They found a way with my shit, dog. So like. But there's other people out there getting like 220 now with the new negotiations that they have, right? So it's like the 240 or actually like 210. And so like, for me, it was just like, yo, I'm gonna go out more. So March, I'm gonna go to Vegas. We going on that 7-day trip, there, and I'm gonna plan a few more. Like I plan on being outside of the house. The way the housing market is right now, it looks like it's gonna be a while before I even get closer to my dreams. So I might as well enjoy it. There we go. I'd rather see some shit like that. I'd rather get closer to my dreams, man, in a slower pace fashion and wait for things out. I've even had some thoughts of like, yo, I'll probably just, stay within my area. I thought about moving to where you was at. So, it's like, I don't even know, man. Like at this point, what I want to do is enjoy time with my family, enjoy taking time off of work, understanding that them shit's going to be there. It's a thankless job. What I do, same thing what you do right now. People tell you thank you, but they don't really feel that shit. They just thank you for the moment. So that's part of my new goals. Other than that, I kind of want to stay afloat of like the shit that I've been doing. What about you?
What you just described, that's where I was at a couple years ago, and I just never got to do it because I had to pivot.
Oh, like you had the realization.
Yeah, I was like, hey, like I'm about to be doing a little more. I got here. That's where we at. I need to start doing this because I feel like I was so tunnel vision that I neglected certain parts of my life. So it's time to play catch up over here. And then I had to pivot again, and I never really got back to it. And, life happens. Now, a lot of life happened in 2023. And a lot of that is carrying over into 24. But I guess my main goal, and I don't know exactly what it looks like yet, but my main goal is for last year not to be in vain. So that can mean a bunch of different things.
Depending on if people know you.
No, I mean, that can mean a bunch of different things to me.
Oh, okay.
To where it's like, okay, all that shit happened, and I got to deal with a lot of it. Still got to deal with a lot of it, but I can't just let that be what it was and fall all the way apart or, get totally derailed from whoever I am or whatever I got going on. So I need to silver lining all those situations, pick out what I need to pick from, whether that be a lesson or something of that nature. And I need to build upon that. Right now, it just seems tough because, I was at a certain ring on a ladder and I feel like I got knocked down a few pegs. And so I do have a climb back I got to do, so to speak. And there's going to be a lot of things that make this a lot more difficult. And so it's going to look different just because the way today is. But at the end of the day, as long as last year wasn't in vain, I'm not going to dwell on it too much. Like, I got to get it off right now, and I got a rough first quarter coming up. But after that, like, nah, I gotta, I ain't gonna be worried about it no more. It is what it is. It's some bullshit, some of it's not, It's circumstance that I gotta deal with, whether I'm cool or whether I'm upset. So I might as well do what I do in general. Some say, you wake up every day, you struggle. You might as well struggle for yourself instead of worrying about all these other people. So I'm going to just do what I got to do to get where I need to be and be me again.
I don't know if I told you this. It's probably something I should have said off mic, but I won't give context to it. But, talking to you in the last few weeks, you sound better, right? You may not 100% feel better, right? But you sound better. And so I was just telling my wife this because, like we have our talks and shit like that. And I was like, yo, my man he's running a marathon. You know what I mean? He's back in the office, working and stuff like that. Him and the kids is going out to like events and stuff. They all, like, you guys had the birthday party that y'all was all at, celebrating the kids and back to moving and grooving. You still been out there going to the park and everything, right? And I was like, it's just good to see, I don't even need to hear it from you, right? It's just good to see that like you back like in the up and up. And we all like get into them little spots, even myself, right? Like even with myself, like I'm proud that I hit that realization. I had a very rough ass week, not even to steal your shine, but
San Francisco to LA. My bad.
All right,
I'm paying attention. I promise.
I'm glad it wasn't nothing crazy. Left Pornhub open or something. That'd be kind of wild. But like it's just good to see you kind of like just getting back into the rhythm of things. And it's been rough. Like we ain't had much entertainment. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like TV and stuff, my sport team is trash. Yours is doing all right, something to fight for. But it's just good to see that you on the slide forward, man. And so I do whatever I can to continue to support you. Part of my goals is trying to actively be present a little more, right? And that's tough to do with kids and everything and family. Same thing with you, right? It's just tougher, to be there in that capacity. But that's what I want to be. I want to, I want my legacy. I want my friendships and stuff like that, man, to speak for themselves, of like people knowing that I ride for them. So, I'm going to try to do better. What that capacity looks like, I don't know what it looks like as a 34-year-old man or whatever, but I've been enjoying my interpersonal relationships with people. I've met some new friends along the way.
And, maybe subconsciously my nightly mantras are working. And I don't remember if I said it on mic or not about the nightly mantras for the kids.
Yeah.
But when I tuck them in, the last thing they hear, or supposedly, usually the last thing they hear is like, yo, go to fuck sleep.
Right.
Because they want to keep playing.
Right.
The last thing they're supposed to hear are the nightly mantras I give them every day. Because even though a lot of it might just be words to them now, it's in their subconscious as they sleep. So once it starts clicking and they start realizing exactly what I'm saying to them, it'll click. And I just think it'll mold them a different way. And if not, it's not going to hurt them.
Right.
I ain't never had no shit like that. So it's just me doing little experiments on my children. And, just to, I guess, I sometimes I keep adding new ones. And so if I did speak about it before, I've added some new ones since then. So, I got to chill out for a minute because now it's turning into like a 20-minute thing. But
you're on your rev run.
I tuck them in, and then it's call and response. So we don't grind. They say we don't shine. I say good, better, best. And they say there ain't no rest until our good is our better and our better is our best. And I say, the ones I've added since then, you ain't got to get ready if you stay ready.
You can tell he grew up with black people.
Like they don't know what that means.
Right.
But then like sometime then during the day, the next day, something will happen. And then I'll say, you ain't got to get ready. And then it'll click to them a little more like, oh, that's what that means.
Like I got to stay ready type of ordeal.
Don't cry to give up. Cry to keep going. Right? Shit gonna suck.
Yeah.
And you might cry.
That's real.
But don't just give up right there. You don't cry. It's gonna be hard pushing forward. So just cry to keep going.
Yeah.
Then I showed him like some Dwayne Wade highlights because this motherfucker be on the floor more than anybody. And I think there was like a Nike commercial about it, or did he do Reebok? I forgot, some shit like that, where he kept getting knocked on the floor. But it's like that fall down 7, stand up 8 shit.
Yeah.
So it's like don't matter if you fall down, as long as you get up. And then I ended with some Tribe Called Quest shit. But it's right now they're 5 and 8. They don't really understand it, but it will click eventually. But I'm also saying like, yo, but it's also like I'm doing that for them, but it's also me repeating that shit every night. You know what I mean? And so I'll find myself like, man, when I take a step back and I look at it at a certain distance, I'm like, man, shit's fucked up. Been fucked up for a minute. Have I even had a good day in a long time? But then, or I'll be discouraged. And then it hits me because I'm saying it all the time. Well, shit, don't cry to give up, cry to keep going.
Right.
Knock down 7, stand up 8 type shit. And so, yeah, those nightly mantras is helping me just as much as the kids. You know what I mean? So, I don't even know what my point was. I just started rambling.
You just said that you were starting doing the nightly mantras, and maybe that's something that's been working for you.
Oh, yeah, because I've been doing them for a minute, and I've been adding on some new ones like once every couple weeks. And I think maybe that has something to do with me sounding better or whatever.
But it's a connection that you build and that keep your spirits up, too. What you were saying earlier, too, was that, like, yo, the last thing they remember hearing from you was, shut your ass up, go to sleep. But now you ending your nights on a more positive note with a connection.
No. I'm saying it's still like that because after they go to sleep and they still be up like, what's going on? They're trying to be nosy, trying to be in grown folks' business.
Yeah. I mean, you did what you could, though. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm saying, like,
Shut the fuck up.
It's something, though. You know what I mean? So, all right, hit my hand class, man. Let's get on to the next.
This where you want to be when Jesus come back?
Am I in the wrong for not sharing my inheritance with my brother? I know. I be trying to get ones that I know be right up the alley. My brother essentially took a loan of $5,500 from my mother, then cut her off and never paid it back. Blocked all numbers and poof, disappeared from her life. My mother held on to this and was upset when my brother completely cut contact. My mother sadly passed this year, and I found out she cut my brother from the will completely. My mother left me a very large sum, and my brother is now hounding me to give him half of the estate as we were both raised by our mother. I don't have the easiest relationship with him, and considering my mother cut him out, I don't feel it's my decision to make. My parents were separated, is now threatening to cut me off if I don't share the inheritance with him. Am I in the wrong for deciding not to share with him?
Sounds like something I might have to deal with.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be that person. I would be the
cutty.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cutty is crazy.
I don't think he's wrong. I think it would be different if...
Given your position, do you think it'd be wrong if like that was the case that happened to you?
No, because I think it should go based on the fact that the mom took the step to cut him out the will.
Yeah.
That makes it not wrong. Now, if he did some fucked up shit and mom never cut him out the will, and I'm just doing that because I'm like, yo, that was fucked up what you did, I'm withholding
It's
it.
a little different grievance.
That would be a little different.
I think also like if he would have been around, he would have known that he was cut from the will too.
Well, yeah. But see, also, like, my mom had to go through this. She was cut from a certain thing in the will and then mad at her sister. And her sister's like, yo, I'm just listening to what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
And, like, you can be upset all you want, but at the end of the day, like...
Did they hold it? They held her cut from that too, that whole time?
What do you mean?
Like whatever was in that piece that she was cut from, she never got a chance to touch it.
No.
I can only imagine what kind of resentment that built up over the years then.
But it was stemmed from resentment that mom, like, that was their relationship, right? But that's what it was. They never fixed it. My grandmother's logic made sense to me. And, you know, kind of is what it is.
I ain't never had to deal with nothing like that because I ain't got no siblings. But like there's a saying that we say like within our culture, right? I wouldn't say specifically. I don't know what you say yours, but like our thing is don't wait for somebody to die to be able to get cash and stuff like that.
Well,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
and that's and I'm not tripping anyway because there ain't a whole bunch of inheritance that I'm waiting on. You know what I mean? But.
I think like the like my son is my son, my daughter's my daughter. Well, he's my stepson and everything, but I know that like throughout time something could happen for that relationship to change. Now, do I try to get there? No, I try to be supportive, love them both the same, do what I can or whatever. But there could be anything that brings them there. They could harbor some resentment on how they were brought up. I'm not hard on them or anything like something crazy in my opinion. The one thing that I am hard on them is that you need to go out, like do activities, make friends and all this other shit or whatever. Like you got to know what that's like. And part of that is that we work every day and doing shit. But, I feel like this person that's having this conversation, they're not black. Right? Because my experience with black families, man, yeah, we have problems like any other families or whatever. But we also get together, I would say, just up there with the Samoans, right? Just up there with the Latinos, right? We in the top 4, right? Of cultures that like get together and do things and try to, work things out, or even if there's just spite problems, right? But, shit like that I'm not used to seeing. Yeah, there's beef within my family. There's little blah, blah, blahs and whatever that goes on in tiffs, right? And now I'm at the age where I be like, yo, like whatever shit y'all on or whatever, I'm not on that. Like we need to get together. We need to do this. We need to do that. This side of the family, cool. If you off doing your own thing, fine, cool. But just know that anytime you want to come hang and rock with us, you can. I got a cousin, Daryl. I haven't seen Daryl in about 5-6 years. He still hit me up on Instagram, a couple of times a month. Send me some shit. We'll talk real quick. But that's just how it is. Like, I don't harbor any type of resentment that even closely resembles anything like that. I've never even seen that in my family.
100%. What I'm going through with my family is 100% because it's white.
Yeah, you think so?
Because ain't no way.
They don't even get together like we do.
Even though I'm in like right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I can see both sides. Because me, who I am, even though I'm involved in it in a certain capacity, I would never let this shit happen.
In your current
Yeah, like
I feel like you done seen
nah.
too much of our shit. Like whether it be me, Jonathan, Mark, all them.
That's
where
what I'm
he's
saying.
like, yo, like, nah.
I've seen too many different cultures, too many different versions of family to be like, oh, okay. And that's why when people hit me with like, oh, like you gotta fix that. It's like I feel you, but I don't.
Right.
Because now the difference is
Why is that? Yeah.
here's the difference. Because everyone's only talking on one side. Hey man, you gotta fix that. You gotta fix that. In your type of situation, they would be hounding both sides. Oh, we gonna fix this
That's fair.
and make it
That's fair.
right. Because
I don't think I've ever heard you break it down, but that
I
actually,
can only do so much. So
Right.
you can tell me, hey, you need to fix it. Hey, I go to sleep peacefully at night.
Yeah.
Now, if everybody's hounding both sides to come together and sit down until we fix it, that's the difference. Because if me and her sat down and just kept going back and forth until we fixed it, we could do that in a day.
Right.
The problem is it takes two.
And they're not here.
Well, no, because nobody in our family is going to do that. No one in our family can do it.
It would seem weird if they did do it, huh?
Like, that's not them. Yeah. And that there goes to show that's the white part of it.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of families, when y'all get together, it's a higher likelihood of people being more or less on the same page about most things.
On both sides.
Like when you think about like the Thanksgiving time when like you guys get together and it's cool, right? When white families get together, it's like, all right, we about to find out who's the racist one, there's way more clashing.
Yeah.
As far as like, oh, you're just a lot more conservative and you're a lot more liberal and there's too much.
Yeah.
So because of that, it's a lot, and those are big things, a lot easier to fracture.
We're cognizant of that shit, but you know what? What it is I get what you're saying. We're, in my experience with these types of families that we talk about, whether it be, you know, blacks, Latinos, whatever, Samoans, like all the ethnic families, they are willing to drop whatever the fucking grievances are at the door. And then once that shit is over with, they'll get right back to it for the rest of the year. But
sure.
in my life, I can only recall maybe a 2-year period where there was some bullshit happening. Whereas we've had other elder family members that are no longer like with us anymore would have nipped that shit in the bud. And we had to like pull an audible and say, all right, well, who's stepping up to the totem pole now, right? And with my kids having a house that's now added to the holiday rotation and shit, I've become that person, right? And so, and there are certain family members who, you know, that like I don't speak to, and it's not because of anything else, but like I view myself, even though my cousin got his shit off and everything else, like I view myself as one of the leaders of our family, you know? So if I'm on this side or whatever, y'all can do whatever the hell y'all want to do. I'm just not over there. You know what I mean? And just thankfully enough, we're all on the same page in regards to shit like that. So, but
right. That's what I'm saying. You can leave the shit at the door. You can be in the room, be cordial, get the whole family thing off, and then go back to, all right, well, I have a gripe with this person.
But that doesn't mean you don't have practice. You have to practice this. Because that is going to be you at some point.
I practice it all the time.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, you just saying you don't fuck with the whites.
No.
That's what you saying. I get what you're saying now. Like, yo, I'm practicing it, just not with them because they not going to receive it.
No, but we haven't, like, my grandpa was that person. He was the glue, right? When he died, all shit broke loose. The problem was I was only 7. It's not like I could step in.
They're like 60, 70.
It's not like I could step in and like, I was just kind of like, oh, y'all don't be over for Christmas no more like that. Y'all don't be trying to keep.
Because how old are they now? The ones we talking about.
Ones we talking about for what?
Like the ones that like the his kids, like which includes
they all in a between late 50s and early 70s.
Yeah, you're not getting that.
Yeah,
that's tough.
And at 7, I was like, oh, obviously in hindsight, I know exactly when it happened.
You're behind too. You're like 30 years behind on when the conversation should have happened. So like,
because all them had kids late. Because we all my cousins are like sort of late, but like yeah, like my mom had me when she was 33.
Yeah.
And then my brother at 35, 36, like,
Yeah, she stuck. She stuck in the ways back. My mom had me at 33 though, or 30, 33.
Yeah, but if you got older cousins to kind of fill the gap,
That's true. I do.
like I might have been the first kid in like 20 years or some shit.
I wasn't the first though. I would believe my shit. I don't know who's older, Kiki or Randy. My aunt gonna text me after this and tell me which one it is because she definitely got on me about me saying. Remember I told you that? That's funny. I thought about that. Remember I said, "Yo, we had to pull these cards out because they a little holier than thou."
Yeah.
She said, "Nah, not us." She was like, "We." She said, "You were safe. You didn't have to be that safe."
Right.
And so she said I was tripping, but yeah.
And that's the thing too, like because I had so many other different families and so many whatever, I don't need to be in all my family's business to know what's going on. The family gossip.
Right.
Oh, y'all be, and a lot of times, and this might not be a race thing. This might just be universal. Most of family drama is over bullshit.
True.
That's not even that big of a deal.
That's funny you said that because when I was at the golf course, like before New Year's, I ran into this dude and his wife or whatever, and he was like, "Yo, like everybody's got some shit going on in their family at some point." And I was like, "He's right," and he's like, "It's usually over something stupid, like
Real
somebody
stupid.
said something, somebody embarrassed somebody." It ain't even over like no real money, like Tony took $40 from me,
Yeah.
something stupid like that.
And so when you're younger and you call that out to the older generation, then they just like, oh, because I did that one Thanksgiving. I never seen, like, you're supposed to be my mom, y'all supposed to be my aunties. Y'all was acting like fucking children.
Damn.
Y'all upset. Now I understand there's a different relationship. That's your mom's, but that's my grandma.
Right.
Y'all ain't about to be talking to her crazy.
Oh, you pulled that? You pulled it out?
Y'all ain't about to talk about her crazy in front of me.
Right.
I love that woman. Y'all
Did
could
they
be
join
upset.
forces on you?
They was just like, they was upsetting her. Like she didn't even have, like, she needed back face. She couldn't defend herself.
Right, right.
And then she going to bed. They just talking. I was like, y'all. I was like legit. I was like, yo, I'm not even trying to be dramatic. I'm not trying to just say that. Like, I'm kind of sick right now.
Yeah.
Like this is crazy. And then we left, and I was like, y'all really act like different around your mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I get it, but it's like,
It's
y'all
you revert back to the
y'all
childhood.
turn into a fucking like a real child.
Yeah. But she said, yo, if you don't get the fuck
And I tried to be like mindful of that, like when I'm around my mom or around my mom and brother at the same time. But I guess it was just different because we was all quiet growing up anyway. Like I didn't need to talk in my house because I talk so much outside.
Right, right.
So, but yeah, I just try to be, I guess it's more of a code switch when I'm around the whites.
I don't revert back to like my old shit or I ain't got no siblings or nothing, man. But like my mom and her siblings, they definitely sometimes they be my mom too though. My mom like bringing up old shit. She be
But see, but would you would describe you and your mother's relationship as solid?
Yeah, absolutely.
Most people that revert back to that child is because there's something within that relationship that's broken that they have not mended. And so they revert back because someone's hurt, someone's still resentful, someone's whatever, and it could be over something stupid. Mm-hmm. Because what happened that Thanksgiving?
That we appear to be stupid. We can't undercut that.
Oh no, this shit's fucking stupid.
No. I agree with you. From the outside, it's stupid to us, but it's real to them.
But that's what I was explaining to him because my grandma came out and she said something, and I don't know if it was about the mashed potatoes or the timer on something, and then my mom got all butthurt like. I be cooking all the fucking time. Like, what you mean? Like, she wasn't cussing at her.
Yeah.
She ain't that crazy. But like, it was along those lines of like, whatever. But it's not even like they like talk back to her. They waited for her to turn around and go back in the room, and then they just started talking about her. And I'm like, all she did was she said one little thing, and y'all are turning it into like she was just sitting here lecturing y'all.
Right, the whole thing.
Like, y'all are mad about something else. Let
Yeah.
that hurt go.
Yeah.
Because at this point, she's like, I don't want to sound crazy, but she's on the way out.
Yeah.
Half the time, she don't even know what she's talking about.
Oh, she's right there.
Like, not she don't know what she's talking about, but like, yo, let her get something off. That's not even like she's not saying nothing crazy. If anything, it was just a reminder. Hey, check that fucking pot.
Yeah, but you know what, man? Because even my grandmother, man, and it's fucking crazy because I remember a time when my grandmother was like really sharp as a tack and she's not there anymore. But sometimes my mom will complain to her as if like she's still all the way there, and I was like, man,
Old habits die hard. I
yeah,
get
that's
it.
what I'm saying.
I
Like,
get
that
it.
shit kind of. It's like, yo, what are you complaining to her for, man? She about to forget.
I
this
think it was just the
conversation.
level of complaint. I think y'all could have got a quick comment off, like, that's mom being mom, or some shit like that. Y'all really sat there at this table and attacked her.
But the
until
question
I
is-
stepped in and was like, yo, y'all need to shut the fuck up.
But let's be fair. Do you think you could be like that with your brother now without reverting to old habits
Old habits?
that y'all may have had?
The thing is, if we're sitting there, if we get together and we complain about my mom, she's still doing whatever it is we're complaining about that she did back then.
But even your complaints about your brother, though, do you think that level? Because every time I talk to you, the level of communication still seems a little juvenile. Like he may not have liked something, and then you know it's always like you guys relate from a pop off or something like that. You know what I mean? And y'all kind of revert back to old habits. Like you're not really a participant. Like that, your whole thing is fuck it. I ain't about to argue with him, and you still keep that like same energy. Like yo, you a kid to me still.
He is.
That's what I'm. And he's not. He's a grown ass fucking man.
No,
I be
no,
seeing him in his photos and shit.
but if he reverts back to being a kid, and I'm still the same, and you acting like a child to me,
Oh,
then
see,
he's still a kid.
we're right in the heart of it. In my head clap.
I'm the same.
Nah,
I'm chilling.
that's funny as shit. He went right back to it. Oh, shit, real to him. Fun facts. The first New Year's celebration dates back to 4,000 years. Julius Caesar, the Emperor of Rome, was the first to declare January 1st a national holiday. Shouldn't be that much of a shock to you guys since we are on the Roman Gregorian calendar in the first place, right? So if we're going, what?
Oh, you just needed yards. You
Yeah,
didn't care about,
no
you didn't
yards.
care about
Yeah,
touchdown?
I don't care about no touchdown. I just care about the yards. Typing on keyboards used to be arranged alphabetically.
That makes sense. I would think they would start off that way.
But I'm wondering why they're the way they are now, though. I feel like by memory, if you would have taught me whatever the keyboard was or whatever, I would have learned it that way in the first place.
I don't know for sure. If I were to take a guess, I would think that it's based on how frequent certain letters are used in words in general. Like there's an algorithm to it.
Yeah.
And they do that based on, where the more like stronger fingers or like whatever fingers.
I got to look that up now. I didn't even think about that. I put that down there, but I didn't even think about that. Like, why are they the way? Just like I hit y'all up the other day, I was like, yo, what does the I in iPhone stand for? And it's like internet phone, innovation phone. Like it's anything. It's like 5 things that the I actually stands for. Steve Jobs was just doing too much. So, but yeah. Be sure to eat leafy greens on New Year's. Tradition says that the more leafy greens a person eats, the more prosperity he or she will experience. What an incentive to stay healthy. Tradition always says that legumes bring prosperity because beans and peas look like coins. No wonder why so many people eat black-eyed peas on January 1st. Here's one. Lex is part of this group. Bangkok is the most visited city in the world. 22.78 million international visitors for Bangkok, home of the Lady Boys. Yeah. You get your shit off. Speaking of Lady Boys, so I said on the top of the episode, I love watching Love After Lockup. There's a dude on there. He's got a girl, and they've been together for like 4 or 5 years or whatever since he was in jail, and he been cheating and all this other stuff. And she was like, he came in and wanted to go through her phone and catch her doing something, but didn't find it. She was like, so you want to go through my shit? Like, let me go through yours. Bro threw his shit in the toilet.
Gave her the Tom Brady.
I know, it gets even worse, right? He threw his shit in the toilet. Then he left the house and stormed out. She checked the phone bill and found that he was text messaging somebody 170 times in one day. Right? That ain't just no normal conversation. She calls the number, a man answers. And she's like, this is not just no regular man. This is the town hoe. and she started texting him. And he was like, he didn't tell you like what's going on. Like, you not about to leave him anyway, so none of this matters. I was sitting there thinking like, whoa. Now at the top of the episode, he was arguing with another dude that he was in jail with. They was kind of close face to face. So I was like, yo, this is kind of crazy. Lastly, but not least, in terms of a fun fact that's actually going to be really true, 2024 is a leap year, meaning that we get an extra day in February. So it does not stop on the 28th this month, stops on the 29th. You ever met somebody born on February 29th?
Yes.
It's the weirdest shit ever because I started doing the math, and I think like when we were 16, I was like, bro, you're 4.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so that's kind of crazy, but yeah.
Also an Olympic year. Also an election year. It's gonna be popping.
It's gonna be real crazy. That's probably why the housing prices the way they are right now. It's getting there. It's getting wild. You ready to get the fuck out of here?
I ain't left the chicken prices, man. Fix the chicken price.
Oh, no. We got to hit it. Shows the watch. There we go. I haven't had too many. This one is a two-parter. Shows the watch. Netflix had this movie come out 2 weeks ago. It didn't get corny until, I want to say, like 3/4 of the way through. There's not a lot of movies out, so I have been struggling, right? Lex said he ain't struggling because he's always behind. So he's going to be right back on time when the writer's strike is all the way through.
Still behind.
And so I watched Rebel Moon on Netflix, though. It's a 2-part movie, and there's a second part that they're releasing. I believe it said March or April. So check it out. If you're into your sci-fi bag and shit like that and different worlds and space travel and galactic shit, and you don't mind watching it, it's lowbrow movies and shit like that, check out Rebel Moon on Netflix. Lex?
So I found out on accident, I've been paying for Paramount Plus all year.
Whoa. Accident.
On accident.
Explain how that happens.
You know, kids might hit subscribe, do something or whatever, and you just don't see it.
Oh, so you got a month free because I'm sure you canceled it.
Here's what happened. By the time I found it, they took the money out that day. So I had a month. So I'm like, shit, I paid for this month.
Yeah.
Let me run through because the Paramount Plus comes with the Showtime, and I have a real hard time finding a Showtime plug. So I've been running through Showtime as much as I can.
Oh, so you caught up on Your Honor and all that, or you had already watched
Your Honor, I've been caught up on, but I was a couple seasons behind on The Shy and shit like that.
Oh shit, okay, yeah,
but
opportunity.
So one thing I watched that I've been waiting to get to was a documentary out of Mass Appeal. Shout out to Nas. On Supreme Team. It's called The Supreme Team. It's on Showtime. It goes over, if you're familiar with the Supreme Team in Queens, New York, drug dealer. If you're familiar with 50 Cent, he kind of, you know, there's a whole thing back then, dry snitching, ghetto Quran, all that.
Yeah.
And it just kind of it's a 3-parter, real quick. And it kind of just goes up, and it's got some like reputable people talking, and it just, you know, rise and fall. Typical story, how they came up when they were running shit. He's in jail right now. But if you have any formality with it, or you care about those types of stories, it's one of those. It's pretty good. Mass Appeal is pretty good with their documentaries. Yeah, that's it.
All right. I ain't got nothing else for you. Go ahead and hit my hand claps, man. Let's go ahead and get these 3 cheers out the way. Make sure if I didn't leave any notes right here for 3 cheers. I didn't at all. One of my 3 cheers I would say is, happy holidays to everybody, man. It's over with. We made it through. Days are about to get longer now. We're past the winter solstice, right? So days are already starting to look a little longer. Hopefully Congress passes that bill over, especially during this election year where they don't change the time up. It's still going to get dark early no matter what, just maybe not at 4:45. A lot of things coming for the pod, man. I feel like now that I've invested this money into here, I just want to open myself up and open us up to more opportunities to connect with people. I want to do 6-person episode. I want to try and see what that's like and have 4 more interesting people to get in here, right? So I'm gonna figure this shit out. I mean, the first little thing I bought, I thought I was gonna be able to do it, and that's part of my bets right there. So I just need to make sure that I stick to it, man. Part of that growth was to get the video established, and now I'm 20 episodes in on the video. I found a groove, a way to do it. Consistently put out pods, through the video. Lex would tell me that he had people that would listen to our pod that wanted to gain that experience, by the YouTube. So that's where we at right now. Anything for 3 cheers for you?
Nah.
All right, we can go ahead and click that button then, man. You ain't got to worry about me. I think Gabe Davis is hurt. Go ahead, because he posted